Hello again. This is Math 2233 coming to you from the College of DuPage. The title of this lecture is Low Stakes Assessment Number 2 and Blackboard Protocols. Please be an active learner as you watch this video. So we'll talk about the Low Stakes Assessment Number 2 itself, and then we will talk about Blackboard Protocols and practice. So, the Low Stakes Assessment 2. I'll read it to you. Given vector u equal 7I minus j plus k and w equals minus 2I plus 5j minus 6k, find vectors v1 and v2 such that u is equal to the sum of v1 plus v2. v1 is perpendicular to v2 and v1 is parallel to w. All three conditions must be satisfied. Now, you can find your own copy of this in the syllabus tab, so go to the syllabus tab in Blackboard, and down here will be the low stakes assessment number 2. So that's where you can get it to look at it, but beyond this video. The remainder of this, we're going to be talking about Blackboard protocols and practice. We're going to learn that on this submission, there is an assessment answer sheet. And just like on the high stakes assessment, that's why we're practicing it here, this is going to be the primary grading instrument. Pay attention to this. And we're also going to talk about the PDF upload of work, which will allow you to get potential partial credit. All right. As I said, the assessment answer sheets are found by going to Blackboard, and you go here. So you punch this, and this will come up, and that is the answer sheet. We'll look at what it looks like in a minute. But this is important because the answer sheet will be the primary grading instrument on assessments. And this is very important for the high stakes assessment. A question left blank or with a non-authentic answer, like you could answer 0 for all the questions, but that's a non-authentic answer, will draw no credit. So that's like if the problem was worth 10 points, that would be minus 10. Correct answers, of course, will be awarded full credit. You see, correct answers matter. Partial credit may be awarded based on the PDF submission if you have an answer that is authentic, but it's the wrong answer. We'll check, and there's possibility of getting potential partial credit based on your PDF submission. That's why the PDF submission is here. Before we talk about the PDF submission, though, let's see what this answer sheet looks like. For this low stakes assessment 2, there are only 2 questions really. And you might say, I thought there was only one. Well, here's the questions that I ask. Write your answer. So question 1, I want you to write your answer for vector v1 here. Now, so you write your vector for v1 here and use pointy bracket notation. And the reason I want you to practice this a little bit is you see this is free-form essay format. It's not fancy math script. So you have to think a little bit about how you want to write this. I give you some time, but you do want to think about how you write this. And the second question is, write your answer for vector v2 here. And again, use pointy bracket notations. And I use those pointy brackets with the greater than or less than sign. So this is going to be the primary grading instrument. If somebody has both these answers correct, they will get full credit. Now, there are many options that get set on those answer sheets. Some students say, well, I can do that over and over again, can't I? No, there is no multiple attempts. Just like there are not going to be multiple attempts for the high stakes assessment. So in a sense, you can think we're training for these high stakes assessments through this aspect of the low stakes assessment. So no multiple attempts. Completion is forced. Once you start filling out the answer sheet, the test must be completed in one sitting. When you take the high stakes assessment, there will be a timer. And once you open the answer sheet, you will have 20 minutes to complete it. That gives you plenty of time to write down 2 answers. But it will auto-submit at the end of 20 minutes once you start. It's displayed right now, and it will be displayed until Friday at 10:55 a.m. That's when this is due, and that is a.m. On these assessments, I can set a password and will for the high stakes assessment. That's how your proctors will have control. They will give you the password. But here, there is no password. There is a due date, and I do not allow students to start the test, that's what they call this answer sheet, if the due date has passed. You see, that way I'm very easy to tell who turned it in on time and who didn't. So after you finish this answer sheet, then you can turn to the submission of the PDF upload of your work. So you take the pictures and you upload here and you post it here. Now there is a due date for this. I give you a little bit more time, but remember that the assessment answer sheet is the primary grade. So you say, oh, I just will have my smart friend do this afterwards. No, don't do that. And this, I put this at 11:59 p.m. I gave you a lot of time. Generally, that's just going to be a very few minutes after you do this on high stakes assessment, but that's what we have here. There were some students in one of your sister classes who said, oops, I submitted it, but I really didn't understand the problem, and now I understand the problem, so I want to resubmit. You can't do that. Here, though, on the PDF, you can save as a draft. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to send you, the problem with this video tells you what the problem is and it's there. You work it all out. Don't fill out your answer sheet until you're really ready to do it, and you do it once. And then you submit this. If you're doing some work, you could save a draft here if you wanted to, but I would say only do that if you're still uncertain about something. In closing, now more than ever, time is precious. Each day must count. Do the math. It will make you strong. And now more than ever, take care of yourself and of each other. May God bless you all.